Hello everyone, today's tell is called, Do I go back to my ex who wants to try again or keep moving forward on my own? Enjoy your viewing and enjoy your meal. So I'm stuck in one of those situations where my heart and my brain are just not on the same page and I genuinely don't know what to do. I feel like either choice could be the right one or a total disaster. My ex reached out a few weeks ago. We broke up about 6 months ago after dating for almost 2 years. It wasn't a messy breakup, but it definitely hurt. He said he needed time to work on himself and figure things out, and honestly at the time I was tired of feeling like I was putting in more effort than he was. So we went our separate ways. Since then I've been healing slowly. It hasn't been easy, but I've made progress. I started new hobbies, made new friends, and I'm starting to actually like being on my own again. But then he messaged me, said he's been doing therapy, said he regrets how he handled things, said he still loves me and wants to try again. And now I'm just stuck. Part of me misses him like crazy. We had a real connection and I know he wasn't a bad person. But the other part of me remembers how small and unseen I felt sometimes. How I'd cry and he'd just shut down. I'm scared I'll go back and it'll be the same cycle all over again. I don't know if I'm being stubborn for not jumping at the chance to get him back, or if I'd be stupid to risk everything I've rebuilt just because I still have feelings. So please be honest, would you give him another chance if you were in my shoes, or would you keep moving forward and leave the past in the past? I'm open to hearing all perspectives. I just need help making this choice because my emotions are all over the place right now. The following tell. Some cases are completely okay. I was with a guy in high school. It was his first relationship, as was mine, despite me being a grade above him. We were together, but because of only one shared class, JROTC, where affection wasn't allowed. And his parents being super strict on just him, we decided to break it off mutually. Super strict how? We weren't allowed to call or text each other. We weren't allowed to go on dates, even with a chaperone. We weren't allowed to just hang out at his house. The only time we saw each other was JROTC, where we couldn't even act like we were together. The only thing that made it obvious is how often do you see a guy friend brush his female friend's hair for the entire class? I know I haven't ever. So we took a Friday class period, asked to go out in the hall to chit-chat, and we agreed to break it off. As respectful as this guy was, as responsible as he was, I'd take him back. It wasn't his fault, nor was it mine. We agreed that maybe one day, once he reached adulthood, we could try again. We just don't have contact because he's in the military across the country. The following tell. Gotta agree with this. In the past, when recovering from being broken up with, all I could think about was their changing their mind, regretting their choice, and wanting me back. Getting over those relationships was hard and took a long time. It just seems like all that recovery and growth would be thrown out because what? Now he thinks he can be in a relationship? How much better to move on and find somebody who never dumped you. Going back would mean you'd constantly be on edge of a repeat and having to tragically start over. I'd tell him you are finally recovered and simply can't risk going back. Wish him good luck and hope his self-improvement will benefit his next relationship. However, I am very curious what he's been up to lately. Sometimes people just say they need a break to work on themselves, when they are actually working on another relationship. It would be natural to come back when that fails and say they are now ready to start up again. Kinda paranoid, but just saying. The following tell. I'm not gonna say completely get back with him, nor am I gonna say don't. If it were me, I'd start out as friends and see if you are seen and acknowledged as friends. Maybe go to some joint therapy sessions. I went back to my ex after over a year apart. It wasn't that it was a messy breakup at all. He explained the situation and told me that he felt guilty and didn't feel it was right to stay with me. The reason for the gap in between the original breakup and trying again was because I was working 80 hours a week and didn't want to be in a relationship but never be able to call. never be able to see each other. Not gonna go in a lot of detail, but a friend of his sexually assaulted him while he was drunk, and some of the other people at the friend's house backed him up on that. He felt it was his fault because he chose to drink, and he broke it off a week or so into the relationship. While he only confessed 3 days later, I completely respect the fact that he did. He waited to tell me about what happened in person, which happened to be after school while I took him home. So after a year, he reached out again. It was just friendly talk at first. What happened over the past year, just random chit-chat. Eventually, he asked me about my feelings. I told him that I never really moved on. That I felt I was cheated of the relationship by his former friend. We got back together. We stayed together for just shy of 2 years. 27 days shy to be exact. Yay, we broke up again. He did exactly what your ex did, just not the entire time. Only for the last 5 months of the relationship. Imagine being in the hospital for a week because of seizures, and never hear from your boyfriend of just shy of 2 years? And then him confess that it was because he was playing video games all week while he had the chance being off of work? That's a good portion of the reason I broke it off, but there was much more. So here's the point in telling all of this. You could get back with him after some chit-chat, being friends for a little bit. It could either go well, get married, have kiddos, be married till one of y'all die. Or it could be like me and my ex where the change is only temporary. It's like a game of chance. Is that a chance you are willing to take? Possibly nothing has truly changed, or only changes for a period of time before going back to his original self. Thanks for watching, come back again.